Hello, my name is Ethan, and welcome back to another episode of Path of Exile Ritual League 3.13. In this episode, I'm going to be doing viewer build reviews. So, if you guys don't know how to enter for yourself for a viewer build review, all you have to do is on this new video, comment in the comment section below your profile name, your character name, and then the reason as to what you need help with, how I could help, what you need, maybe a question. However, I can help you with the viewer build review. And now we'll get into these, and I just want to quickly mention two things. So first one, haven't been streaming because doing variety hasn't been very supportive. So I've just been taking care of my mental health and not streaming instead. Second thing is this dude, it has an 160 million DPS Carrion Golem build, not including the Spectre. So this is a cold Carrion Golem, and so stay tuned for that. There will be a timestamp to Henrik's build, the Deadandlivin, in the description. So if you guys want to skip to the 160 mil DPS Carrion Golem, it's this one, and I'll yeah. Okay, let's get into it. They're all really interesting though. These are three very interesting builds. So let's get it started with this guy, quantumprof Spectre Bad. I know my gems are not leveled, and I can get better gear, so I would like advice on improvement of skill tree. Minion survivability is not a problem, since they have a shit ton of leech and damage. Also in Cluster Jewels, I have not spec'd into Vicious Bite yet. So, I don't know what he spec'd into if he didn't spec into Vicious Bite, because it's not enough points, but I'm just going to leave it with the Vicious Bites. So it says 2.6 million. I've enabled the things that I think he has. Probably not completely accurate, but it's close enough. And so you notice he's an energy shield, but there's like a lot of things actually. Very interesting build. This is cold. So he's running triad grip. He's running 4 green. He's converting Carrion Golems to cold. His Carrion Golems have this 6 link, so immediately there's no quality on an awakened elemental damage with attacks. 80,000 extra. That seems pretty good. That's without even leveling them. That's just thing. And then I noticed this is his Spectre, so you could get the quality on the awakened LE damage with attacks as well for this one. And then you notice he's a Spectre Carrion Golem build, and you go, oh wait, so no frenzy or power charges because he's not running a shield and he's not running necromantic aegis for 1 point. So basically, if he had specters in the build, his DPS would go to 4. Like instead of the DPS specters, if he I guess there's also that. I forgot to use renewal. I forgot to enable renewal. But this was like the biggest thing. So besides, like, your skill tree, honestly, for what you have is pretty good, other than potentially pathing to this jewel socket instead for 5, using an intuitive leap to get the extra 4% mana reserve, and then, I don't know, being able to change it around, and maybe going a Scion Ascendant instead of Necro. And you watch my budget 100x budget video on the Aura Stacker, and then you could also improve this possibly. I looked at this a lot. Okay, these 3 nodes is 600 ES. It's fucking huge. This small is ES, energy from not, elemental res, cold res. These smalls are disgusting. But for me, okay, so personally, I don't like smalls anymore. And so the main reason for not liking smalls is a small takes up a jewel socket and skill tree points. So in just skill tree points, it's great. But the fact that you also lose a jewel socket, and the jewel socket could have been insane, like it could be a harmony or an eminence or whatever. I noticed that your build has like exactly 4 jewels. It's an anima stone, a might, an eminence, and a harmony. Like you could maybe run more harmonies, or maybe eminence, more eminence, and maybe you could run another jewel with like taunt blind since you did run a Darkness Enthroned, but you don't have Taunt Blind because you went for DPS and ES with so you get the increased effect. So you still don't have Taunt Blind in the build. That would be pretty cool. Would help you out a lot. Would feel really good that you don't. It's not something that you calculate very easily. And you said no minion survivability issues, so I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm just focusing on the things that actually matter. So like, seriously, if you lose these 4 smalls, it's 12 skill points and 4 jewel sockets. Can you beat this? So I'm not saying they're bad, and I'm not saying that you have to remove them. I'm just saying that there are alternatives. And so you could switch it up. The smalls are fine, but this is just my main thing that I noticed about your skill tree since you asked. And then the other thing, quality on the elemental damage with attacks, and maybe not going carry specters and instead going support specters with blood magic and stuff. The other alternative is you go a shield with frenzies and power charges, and you do necromantic aegis to give the shield to the minions. Highly recommend that. That would be huge. Basically, you should probably get those in the build, the frenzy and power charges in the build, and there's 2 real ways to do it, like main ways. Yeah. I think that is my overall build review for the first one. Wasn't too difficult, but it should help you out for your main things of improving the build for better gear and improvement of the skill tree, since you had no minion survivability issues and you had tons of leech and damage. Okay, we have this one. He said from Blood TV, I want more damage but without losing tankiness. PS, I don't want to go aura stacking energy shield. Okay, here we go. So this is a witch necromancer 98, 4.5 million DPS. This guy is running support specters, so he has the powers and frenzies. He's running pride. He's running aura effect, and so he stacked aura effect in this build to have 1.92, which is like no breakpoint. It's pretty weird, but it's okay. Like, I looked at the DPS and it's 90,000, and a vicious bite is 200. So obviously these are not that great for scaling DPS, and these only scale DPS in your build since your auras are pride, skitter, vitality. Skitter doesn't count. Yeah, so what happens is it scales, and Dreadbender. It scales these for damage, but it's not even the best damage. You could be using different. The reason why it's so good in the aura stacking build is because we have so many auras and we're stacking defenses as well, and we get energy shield, and it's like super effective to stack this. So basically it's just not as worth it to use these mediums in this build compared to the actual aura stacker. And even as a life build, you could still run purities and stuff. You can still run purities. You just would need the extra mana reserve. And how you would do that, in the past we did stuff like sack of walls, but then we had to run aspect of the avian. We ran all the mana reserve from the skill tree, but then if you're going to be all the way up here, you're pretty much CI. That's the whole reason why that happens all the time, is because you come up here for the extra mana reserve in the area and the effect, and then you end up here like, oh, I'm at CI already. Because if you're going to go auras and you're going to go aura effect, you might as well go more auras. And so really it just feels like, also you're 3 points away from an unwavering stance. That'd be pretty good since sun immunity. And honestly, I've tried this thing before, doing the Thread of Hope to not have to anoint this and to do this instead. And it's not that worth it, personally, since you lose the res, you lose the jewel socket. Just to get these, when you can anoint this, you could path to this for 5. It's not really that bad, and then you get an extra jewel socket. So this isn't generally that worth it to go Thread of Hope for this. In some other areas, you get a lot more nodes, but it's not for minion builds. It's for the regular builds that can go more nodes. My throat's bothering me. Sorry. I have to get the video. I have to do the video still. It doesn't matter. I'm sure you can tell though. Either way though, he wanted damage without losing tankiness. So I genuinely think that it would be a swap of this Thread of Hope and these mediums. You could probably do better than those mediums. And then also, otherwise, I really like the build. Extra Spectre, increased effective offering. You did like a life version of the aura stacker as much as you could. So like where this would get complicated probably is where you would like try to get all the aura stuff still. All the aura reserve and aura radius, and then you would get rid of the minion like the elemental resistance from the skill tree for the minions, and then maybe try to get it through the purities like I did in the aura stacker. And then as you continue on this journey, you're just going to end up on my energy shield aura stacker probably, because like why wouldn't you aura stack discipline and all these ES things? It just makes more sense, obviously, when you're that far into a build. Like, you're so far into a build, right? Do you have all the awakened gems? All the awakened gems, all leveled up. He doesn't want to go ESCI, but either way, I highly recommend the extra mana reserve on the skill tree, and probably not a Thread of Hope, and not these mediums, because you don't really need the aura effect, and you could probably just go like, I guess they're not that bad for damage, because you can't go vicious by it on the mediums. What's your impale at? Last thing. 100. 90. Pretty cool. So even there, that's, yeah, with 1.9 aura effect. That's so crazy. And like, this doesn't look worth it usually. What's your res? God damn. That's pretty good actually. We have life, chaos, fizz, move speed. No taunt blind in the build. Feels bad, man. A bunch of harmonies. He has he's using one fortress. But genuinely nice fucking build, man. Super insane. I wonder if just an elegant hubris with like 240 damage would be more. Let's just do that. Let's theoretically do a swap real quick. Which I'm gonna guess that, dude, these aren't as good. Well, they're slightly better than they look, just because they give Dread Banner aura effect. Like, if I took out these mediums, I wonder what happens. Let's just theoretically do it. 3 million, but that's without the extra jewels. So Primordial Harmony, he has a fortress. We got an Anima Stone. We got a Might. And another Harmony. Kit 3.35, and he has 12 extra skill points now. So then, let's just see as a meme. That means he has an extra 12. Oh, this used 16 skill points. Okay, let's get 3 Slumlords. 4.3. And then if you had anomalous and divergent, 4.46 with an extra 5 skill points. So those mediums aren't worth it for DPS generally. Just for DPS in this build, when in the other build we're like doing all that extra stuff. So I noticed, yeah, you anointed this instead because you didn't want to path to it. You did the Thread of Hope. I'm still convinced that you could do better than that. I don't know. It's pretty weird to me. I feel like you could do better. But then you can get an extra jewel socket, and you could get... I honestly hate this so much. Change that to a jewel. Unallocate that. Path through. I don't know how much you need to block. Might be for the mana. But this is fine. And 3 extra points. You show an extra harmony or an eminence, just as an example. Yep. So what you had is fine, but there are definitely different ways to do it. And if you're going to be aura stacking, if you're going to be stacking the aura effect, you're probably, like I said, going to want to go more auras, and then you end up as ESCI because you're right next to it. So I hope this overall helped you. I went a little bit longer than I expected to on this one, but I wanted to actually like dig in and give examples and try my best to actually show some stuff. So yeah, a Slumlord with big damage could potentially work instead. Obviously your medium cluster's pretty good actually. Yeah, it doesn't affect your survivability though, because you didn't have any auras that affected you, except for vitality. Oh shit. You lost a bit of regen. Alright, that's the final. And now let's get into the crazy fucking build. You should just go ESCI though, dude. Like, it makes no sense to do this. It's just like in the middle of 2 builds basically. It's what it feels like. Yeah, super fucking insane build obviously though. Like, you're telling me to min-max this. Okay, next. This is the crazy one. So let's get into it. Henrik, Deadandlivin. Nearing the end of the league, and I've pushed damage on my build all league. There's still some minor upgrades left to be had. My build basically shits on all content in the game, but I'm looking to scale down some damage for some survivability and would need some tips from someone who's knowledgeable. I managed to hit level 100 from 100% solo play in maps, but the build is a true glass cannon build where most big hits from bosses and on death effects one-shot me if I don't avoid them. Zombies die at times in 100% delirious maps, got no health nodes in tree or links for them, so they're just cannon fodder. I usually swap to Bone Barrier for harder content to boost minion HP. Spectres used are Syndicate Operative. So yeah, you gave me all the stats. So this is an SO Carrion Golem build that's cold. So we started with one, if you remember, the Spectres. His Spectres were doing 520,000 POB with 3 million on the thing. That's after we made... Did I swap the shield? No. Okay, I swapped something. So for the third one, we have this POB. So let's start with his Spectres first. His Spectre is doing 2.479 million. So he's doing 5 times the DPS of the other guy. Okay. Fucking insane. That's so insane. 5 times the DPS. Okay, Carrion Golem. What is that number? 41,523,546. So, you can already see things this guy's done. He's went for the life route. which with maximum DPS. So for maximum DPS, he likes cold, and he does the cold conversion with the triad grip, and then he has the super insane god helmet. He has a double corrupted 4 green triad grip with +1 socketed gems and LE weakness. The shield, he's Necromantic Aegis, so his shield is 98% increased cold damage, 2 minimum frenzy, 2 minimum power, 10% cold as extra chaos, 1% increased damage per chance to block attack damage, and 5% chance to deal double damage. It's a lot of damage from that shield. This one node, 800,000? No, 8 million. 8 million, sorry. In that one node. What the fuck is this? His mediums are precise and vengeful. And so if I had to guess, precise was probably more damage in the other build as a medium. And that's all the dude cared about. So could probably recommend running precise. But then I don't know about getting pride aura effect. Maybe. Either way. This guy said, Mac, fucking gigantic DPS. He's not joking, dude. That's 160 million Carrion Golem DPS. And then in POB, the Syndicate Operative's doing 2.5. In POB. That's gross. Dude, this is fucked. This is insane. And so then he said, I want to be more tanky. Honestly, dude. No, you don't. This build's fucking insane. What the hell is this? Res cap, 4,600 life, low block, no evasion, no armor, big fucking dick damage. Honestly, nice build, man. My first instinct was, oh, if you just switch to ES, it'd be better. But honestly, after doing it, I was like, I don't know. It's pretty close. Where his seems pretty good, actually. It's just a straight up life build and leave it as it is, because you don't run discipline. You don't have the extra mana reserve. Honestly, for what you did here, this is fucking incredible. And no matter what you do, you're going to just basically be sacrificing DPS for survivability. Which, meh. But like, because my first instinct was, oh, you just take out all this extra life nodes that he took. Like, look how many points he put into just life. But then you take those out and you're like, wait, I don't like this. I'd rather just, yeah, take these life points that are already here on his actual skill tree and do this. Looks pretty good. The only other thing is maybe Scion, just because of the pathing again. You save skill points, you get an extra 5. Maybe it ends up being better. I don't know. Either way, because like there's a lot of stuff you could do here where like you path from the Scion left or right, and you could path from up here to Golem and the jewel socket, skipping this stuff because you don't actually need the extra zombie. Especially you said it was cannon fodder anyways, but maybe the extra minion survivability helped you. Like, there's a lot of stuff here. Since you're not taking grave intentions, you don't really need to path up here. You would just need to path up to this jewel and then skip all of this. That's entirely up to you, though. I just think it's pretty interesting. Let's just take a quick look. If this was Scion, let's say I pathed out of here. And let's say I was a Scion, and I was an Ascendant, and we didn't path all this, and instead we pathed this, then it's only 3 points for this, and you can anoint Ravenous Horde, which he didn't do in his. Oh my god, do you see the DPS loss? What happened, dude? These builds are fucking insane, though. 30 mil. How did you lose that much? What? Oh. Oh. 3.2. And what extra? There's no way, right? What the hell? What the fuck? Wait, that does so much damage. What the fuck is that? How much did that say? 2 million. That's pretty good. But no, it's nowhere near as good as Necro then. I'm convinced on that. Well, at least you get the 5 extra skill points doing this. In theory, if you did this and then you had extra skill points, it'd be very close. It's very close still, actually. Because you could get to 335. But no, yours is actually, well, this part could still be a thing, but you would stay as, oh, then if you're a witch, you have to path from up there, which makes that pathing better. Unless you path to like this. Let's try this real quick. Last attempt. 123. There's no way. 42. No, it's just better the other way. It's just better. Actually, Pog build, dude. Insane. Nice work. It's really hard to change around. You already knew this, though, probably. I did my best. Thank you for the submission, man. Nice fucking build. Deadandlivin. Holy shit. 100% solo play to 100. What the fuck is this? Actually insane build, dude. Also, there was like 2 things about this that blew my mind. Intimidate. 2 things, 2 takeaways, big takeaways from this build. The enemy is intimidated. He uses Awakened Melee Fizz on the Carrion Golem, so it has chance to intimidate. And so what I didn't know is this is intimidated enemies take 10% increased attack damage, and I thought that this wouldn't work because it'd be attack damage, but this scales the cold because it gets converted. So this is something that people keep showing me, that when you do conversion, you can then scale both. So like he's done some things in this build, like physical and cold on some of the jewels, like this one. So he has a ghastly jewel that gives both T1 cold, T1 fizz, 20% minion damage if you use a skill recently, and then minion attack speed. This is like the most DPS jewel you can possibly make for minions, right? And then with the conversion, I was like, oh, that's so smart. So if I looked at my Chaos Golems again, you can physical the Chaos Golem, and then it will scale the Chaos. Because it starts as physical. It's a physical spell. That's very cool. So, obviously, you won't be able to, like, intimidate with the Chaos Golem, but then this changes things. It's kind of like that double dipping idea, but it's not actually double dipping. This is more like, oh, we scale off 2 things now instead of just 1 thing. That's actually pretty cool, because then it opens up all these extra items where you could go for cold instead. And like where the shield opened up to have the cold scaling, and the helmet is the cold scaling and shit, where you wouldn't normally have this, and you still have the physical stuff except for Impale. So it's like physical, Impale, and then there's actually a hybrid build. There's actually a hybrid cold physical, where I almost feel like this idea is like double dipping. Now I kind of see it. Now I see it, you know? This was the build that took me that final extra step to be convinced that this is double dipping, but in a different way than I originally thought. And it's mostly because of how you can still go physical, and it scales the cold, and I don't know why I forgot about that, but it's pretty fucking cool. And how Intimidate works for cold. This build's sick, man. Just how the hell would you make this defensive? True Aura Stack at forehead, and then it turns into a whole different build, and it's not max DPS. And but honestly, for what this is, holy shit, I want to play this, dude. I want to feel what 160 million DPS is. It's fucking insane. Oh shit. There we go. 42. Wait, why'd it go up? Oh god, I did something. I cheated. I don't know what I did. But yeah, enemy intimidated. Actually massive DPS. And yeah, overall can't actually like really improve your build because it's just so min-max. What the fuck is this? I'm gonna finally end this with hey man, nice fucking build, dude. Thank you 3 for submitting build reviews. I hope I helped you. I don't think I helped as much as you may have wanted in some of these because they're pretty insane. Super good builds. I hope the things I point out though can help either way. I'm going to take this opportunity to thank my Patreon and my YouTube members who financially support the channel. I can't do this without you guys, so thank you guys for all the support. And thank you to anyone new who joins the Patreon and the YouTube members today. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye!